Last we left off on Metanoia Blues, our three protagonists had taken some time after successfully defeating the poltergeist of the Lonely Lighthouse to recuperate, do some shopping, and most importantly, perhaps, do some research and recover a new prosthetic limb for our dear paladin Luca. Having made their preparations and spent a little time in each other's company once more, loosely planning what to do about the cursed sea spawn, the remnants of the crew of the Silver Dancer and Captain Varys Greenleaf, who had apparently been cursed by the hag that the lighthouse keeper, Duncan O'Fairn, had stolen the conch shell from. So, our trio has set off to Driftwood Marsh to find old Aggie Eeltongue's barge and hopefully break the curse by setting things to rights and returning the conch shell. Move this over. To the map, if it'll load.
I see it.
I see it. We have been zooped.
I'm so excited.
Oh, Fish Dog is here. Should I be, should I turn on Fish Dog?
Darling. Willow will probably have Fish Dog active, yeah.
Alright.
Bring us the fishiest dog.
Mm-hmm.
Wait.
What?
Cute.
Ah. Yes. Yay!
My connection is being... oh, there it goes. Cool. Good. So...
It's a barge reception.
Oh god,
Yeah.
it's terrible out here.
Yeah, swamp reception, just awful. So, the last we left off, you had just come up after spotting the barge, after a few hours of searching the marsh. You had discovered it, sailed or rowed up towards it, and you stand now, the three of you, in front of the yawning mouth of the door leading into the barge's interior. Dark within, wafting foul, lukewarm air, a great contrast to the brisk winter morning. And you hear the voice again. Come in, you don't have all day. What do you do?
I'm gonna go in, because she was so polite.
As I recall, and Anne's going to hurry to follow after Luca.
Likewise.
Alright.
We're both small enough, Willow and Anne just fit through the door simultaneously.
I'm holding the basket of gifts.
Okay,
Of
good.
offerings.
Fish Dog is floating next to me, but as soon as we head in, it's going to sort of head down to like waist level and just kind of begin scanning.
Okay. Alright. You enter the barge. Illuminated by the flickering light of several stout, guttering candles, the room that greets you is cramped and stifling to the point of near claustrophobia. To your immediate left, a set of low, grimy windows look out over the ship's prow, its aged steering wheel jutting out from the wall beneath. A precariously tottering iron stove stands across from the door, its still glowing coals filling the room with that uncomfortable warmth. Next to it was what looks like to be the dining area. 3 rickety wooden stools surrounded the table, a large rectangular slab of salt-encrusted, weather-beaten driftwood. Steel knives and hooks are scattered across its surface, and a large, well-used butcher's cleaver embedded deep in the countertop. You see in the far right corner a single bed. Its sagging frame is piled high in a nest of furred pelts, topped with what looks to be a dozen or so skinned otters stitched into a gruesome quilt. And everywhere you look, on every available surface, you can see the ominous trinkets of magic, jars stuffed to the brim with pickling amphibians and festering pond scum, garlands of threaded animal bones, teeth and claws strung about your heads, hanging bundles of glassy-eyed salted fish, bottles of astringent alcohol, their labels yellowed and peeling, broken pocket watches and chunks of sea glass kept in a hollowed-out turtle shell, chains of barnacles growing along the walls and floor, leathery curtains made from alligator's hide, displays of bats with wicked sharp pins keeping their wings spread, and an obscenely fat, mottled toad squatting inside an open, rusted birdcage. A hunched crone stands in the center of the room, eyeing you expectantly from behind a mane of long, tangled white hair. Her skin is an unhealthy shade of green, like a healing bruise, glistening with moisture and covered in warts, wrinkles, and pockmarks. She grins as you enter, crinkling the corners of her bulging yellow eyes and revealing a mouth of rotting, blackened, needle-sharp teeth. I knew to expect visitors when old Duncan O'Fan finally let go and died for good. I assume you're here on his word, she says with a smug air of confidence. She spreads her arms in a welcoming gesture. What can dear old Aggie Eeltongue do for you? Perhaps you'd like to buy back your forgotten memories? Or sell off that burdensome sense of guilt? She gestures to Luca, then to Willow, and finally turns to En. Or maybe you'd like to be rid of that eye and your unwanted passenger. Though I think with even all my skill, the attempt might kill you. She cackles uproariously as if she's just told the funniest joke.
Yes, very funny. We're not here to make a bargain with you, Aggie.
Oh, you're not?
No, in fact, we come bearing gifts, and I gesture widely to Luca.
I raise the basket slightly, and then I make a gesture to put it on the tabletop, if she's allowing me to.
Aggie tries to snatch the basket from your grip.
Okay, I'll let her take it.
Okay, she sort of darts forward with sort of alarming speed and grabs the basket and starts rooting through it and inspecting your various offerings, and, muttering to herself. Ooh, she holds up the bottles and inspects them keenly. Puts one on the table, and then what else have you brought exactly?
Brought cakes, rum cakes. We brought jams. We brought alcohol, multiple kinds.
Mm-hmm.
Is that everything?
Yeah.
Nice basket.
A nice basket. Luca put a bow on the basket.
Yeah, she can keep that too.
Well, she's touched
Fair
it
enough.
without taking it back. I think that's it. Oh, and of course, her belongings, but we're not talking about that yet.
Uh-huh.
Those are not in the basket.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, no, that's in Willow's
Nice.
pocket.
Okay, so old Aggie inspects things, takes one of the rum cakes and bites into it like an apple or a loaf of bread. She just takes it and takes a big chomp out of it, and then munches and then uncaps one of the bottles using a very long hooked nail to pry the cork out with a swift, and then takes a deep sniff of the alcohol and promptly takes a big swig. Yes, these are very nice gifts, but don't play coy with me. I know you're here for something. Nobody just visits old Aggie Eeltongue.
That's a shame.
Must be very lonely out here.
I like to keep my company to myself, and I mean, I have Miriam back there. She gestures at the very fat toad that is sort of
Can I
sullenly
perceive
sitting in the bird
the
cage.
toad to see if there's anything, off about it?
Nefarious
I'm gonna-
about the toad.
I'm suspicious
Wave
about the
to
toad.
toad.
Make a nature check.
Oh boy,
Nature.
I'm so good at nature.
Oh, good effort.
That toad is so overweight. What has she been feeding that thing?
Oh. Can I make a
And
general
Sorza
perception?
gives it a piteous look, like a quirk in their eyebrows.
Yeah.
May I have Fish Dog kind of scan around?
At your peril.
Hey? Oh. Okay, I'll take that hint. Lucas waving.
You don't
at
know
the
what
toad
Aggie's gonna do to Fish Dog.
More to the point, do I care? No, okay, yes. If no one's going to answer, I'm going to look at both of the other two and can I talk to her? Or...
And kind of looks
Well-
nervous that Willow's the one that's gonna start talking, but
Yeah.
it's not starting talking
Well,
yet, so...
No one else is doing it, so Willow is going to approach. Is that a table? Is this a table?
Yeah.
Here? Okay. Well, can we pace so I'm on the other side of the table? I don't necessarily want to go look eye to eye with her.
Yeah.
Willow, Des, we're here to discuss the fate of the cursed Captain Varys.
And the crew of the Silver Dancer that remains.
And yes, thank you, Luca.
Aggie sort of picks her nose idly with her pinky finger. Who's that?
He was caught up in a similar curse to Duncan.
He's the man that Duncan charmed.
Oh, I see. And what curse would this be?
Oh, don't act coy.
He's a fish. Oh.
You know things about us, and we know things about the curse.
Well, why should I help them? If they had any sense, they wouldn't have gotten cursed. You certainly didn't.
The parameters of taking the shell and using the shell and attuning the shell, I believe, would be reversed if the shell was returned to you. Is that true?
She gives you sort of a piercing look.
Duncan made
Looks
the
at you
deal.
Yes or a no?
Varys didn't do
No,
anything.
she's like looking at you like, go on, continue, what are you saying? Not a like, shut up look, like a, continue?
Willow was
Keep
like waiting for an
talking.
answer and so we're both just looking at each other.
Oh boy.
Right. Oh, well, it's okay. Willow is also noting some shortness from not more than just the general shortness from N. Curtness, you know what I mean?
Well,
not that that's a problem, but just
were you to once again come across your magical conch shell, we were hoping you would feel generous enough to undo that which has been done to the men.
Duncan paid the price for what he did, but Varys didn't do anything to deserve what he got.
They were innocent men. Caught up in
Oh, who is
something.
really innocent man?
yes.
Show me an
We
innocent man
understand.
and I will show you a dead child.
He
Well, we
wasn't
don't need either of
involved
those,
in the
okay?
curse.
And look, regardless of the nature of the curse as it stands, it was a comedy of errors, and we would like to reverse those errors and have Duncan and his crew and whoever else was afflicted by this conch shell's curse. We would like to have that reversed. Is that possible?
Well, they are above the water so that they can
yes,
not drown.
so they can breathe and for their lives. No, wait. You know what I mean. No, you don't. Stop talking. No, stop humming. Oh.
Hello?
Old Aggie like hums louder at your like muttered Exclamation. Well, I do deal in breaking hexes and jinxes and even sometimes curses. I
We
don't
thought you
work for
might.
free, you know. Perhaps if you do something for me, I can do something for you.
Could I not simply return your conch shell?
What exactly would that cost us?
No, wait.
You
We're not
have it?
discussing. Yes.
We
If
may know where it is.
I said yes already. Don't worry. If we were to return it to you,
Well, it rightly belongs to me.
yes. And so having it
It's mine,
returned should undo the nature of the curse, shouldn't it? Your haggliness.
Well, it's not that easy. If you could just... What would be the point of punishing someone for stealing if just giving the item back was all it took?
They didn't steal it.
Duncan
They happened
died.
upon it.
You own Duncan.
They might as well have stolen it.
Okay.
I left instructions in the thing to bring it back to me if it was ever found.
They couldn't leave the island. How could they bring it back to you?
Well, that's not my fault.
It rightly is. It was your magic's.
No, that was Duncan.
Duncan using your magics.
Nope.
Well, Duncan didn't seem very magical himself, so where did it come from?
Final. Well, yes, I gave him his magic powers, but after he had them, it was his. You can't blame me for what that idiot did.
You have a point.
Did he start up the storm that locked him and everyone else in the lighthouse? Did he do that on purpose?
Purpose. Does anyone do anything on purpose? Do you breathe on purpose? Do you blink on purpose? My
All right,
goodness, what a
Aggie.
stupid question.
What a
What would
silly
you-
conversation we're having, my friends.
I'm going to put my
Luca?
hand on the table so that Willow stops speaking, just slightly in front of Willow. What would you like me to do to reverse this curse? I will
Luca.
take that.
No. Luca.
Well, it's nothing dire. I need a little bit of housework done. My old bones are not what they used to be, and it gets so difficult to manage a household when you live all alone. And I would really like that shell back. She, pouts and blinks pitifully at you with her great, big, bulging yellow eyes.
It's not so hard. I can do that.
Luca,
Luca.
you're making a deal
What
with
sort
her.
of housework?
Willow,
I'm asking for
Oh,
Luca's
just
sake. I haven't
regular
offered
housework.
anything.
Well,
Such as?
oh, you
What's
know,
regular
washing
to you?
dishes,
Dishes.
helping me brush my hair. I've got dreadful arthritis, you know, this winter weather. So cold in here. Stoking the coals, dusting shelves, you know, feeding Miriam.
feeding Miriam what?
Grubs?
Of?
Crumbs?
How long would I
Grubs.
be doing this? Unfortunately, I have...
Well, until the chores are done.
No deal.
Mm-mm. No deal.
Guys,
Well, then, you can forget about getting that cure for your curse.
no, I'm willing to do that.
No, you're not.
Luca.
But Luca.
What's the...
Willow's going to slap his forearm.
Do
I
you
just
guys
talk
want
into
to
meta for
make
a second?
some... Yes, let's talk in meta for a hot second. Well,
You guys
Before
remember
we-
that we're supposed to
Yes,
do
I do remember.
These things, right? Yeah?
I do
Okay,
remember,
just
but
making
the
sure.
parameters of our discussion sound
it's-
so contractual that I don't trust them.
It sounds like we're gonna get trapped or fed to the toad. That's what it sounds like.
Usually, Usually the nature of the chores that you do aren't done at the instruction of the hag. That's the story we heard anyway. So that's
Just
anyway,
being a
it's
good
just
person.
the wording of the situation is making us notably antsy for very antsy reason. Don't worry,
I
we
will
understand.
say that there in amongst the fairy tales, while there are like certain things that are like you come across things that will ask for chores, there are also instances of like where perhaps uh, uh, the protagonist of a fairy tale is trapped by the hag, and seeing at the chores is part of what helps free them.
Okay. Ugh.
Still don't like it.
Yeah. It's one of those. I get it.
I mean, you
I hate it.
can negotiate the parameters. You can say like we're only doing it for a day.
Yes.
Yeah, so Luca, if
That's
you want to
sort
what I
of
was
go
hoping
down
to
that
before
route.
Luca jumped the gun.
Well, we can negotiate now that we're here, now that we know what we're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Get back in character, sir.
Okay.
I'm still nudging. I'm still slapping his hand though.
I will give you my service for the day. Until sunset. In exchange
Mhm.
for...
No, for 24 hours, strictly. No matter the weather,
Oh,
no matter the
yes.
placement of the sun, are 24
What
hours.
instead?
24 hours in which we recognize time.
What N
What
said.
specific wording? Well, I do happen to have an hourglass that lasts for a day, so
No.
that's very convenient for you.
Give it to us.
Willow, do you have an hourglass?
Actually do. Hey, fun fact. My little fish dog. I think that I would trust my own timer with this one, if that
Okay.
suits you, Aggie. If I tap the fish dog, its face like swells with blue and starts sort of. You can't tell at first, but like imperceptibly, like a little pie wedge at a time, starts ticking.
Mm-hmm. What a curious little creature. She sort of leans over and tries to like inspect fish dog.
It inspects her back.
Aggie is going to try and snatch fish dog.
Oh, can I make a dexterity save or something?
Yeah. Fish dog can make a dexterity saving throw, or like an acrobatics check. Yeah, dexterity check.
How do I do
You
that?
hit dexterity on the fish dog character sheet.
You have a fish dog character sheet. Can fish dog
I
do it
saw.
with advantage? Because Willow would like jump out and probably try to help fish dog.
I think Willow's arms are folded. I don't think Willow's going to have quick enough reflexes.
Oh.
Sorry, my fish dog
Well, then.
homunculus just has bio and info, but nothing to click on.
No, check on the tab next to it.
Yeah, click over.
There's no tab next to it.
If there should be bio and info, and then like next to that, it should be character sheet and then attributes and abilities.
I only see
Maybe-
bio and info.
Maybe because you made it.
It's okay. I need to update it. Close and refresh. Like close and reopen the tab. You should be able to do it now.
Ah, yes, thank you. So character sheet and attributes and abilities. So I'm on character sheet. Public.
Yes.
Okay, and whoa, where
Just hit the dexterity button. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, baby.
Oop. Sorry, fish dog. Fish dog gets grappled.
Oh.
Old Aggie just
Hey.
holds the fish dog, which like beeps faintly in distress as she like examines it. What a curious little creature. She like pokes it, and like fish dog sort of wiggles its fins, going little.
I would like that
Fish
back.
dog can make another
Another one, dexterity throw.
Yeah, a dexterity throw to like escape.
Hey.
That's better.
Yeah, fish dog wiggles free of Aggie's grip and like sort of. Can I at least have my shell back? It was mine.
It would be more comfortable if we returned your shell at the end of Luca's chores.
Oh, all right.
Can I just
Thank you.
examine Fish Dog at a glance and see if I can tell if anything was done to it while it was in Aggie's grasp?
Yeah, sure. Make a perception check.
Persuasion?
She only had it very briefly, but sure. Perception.
Perception. Yes. Anne's just cautious.
It didn't seem like she had enough time to do anything to it.
Did Fish Dog have any time to, observe anything about her? Any touch-based magic or anything like that?
You want a perception check?
A what check, sorry?
Perception. It should be under the skills list.
Nice.
That's Fish Dog's perception.
Been
now.
out of commission, okay?
Did you want Willow's perception?
Oh, no, I imagine Fish Dog itself has its own,
diagnostic.
No, Fish Dog has perception.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
so advanced. Cool. Okay.
Fish Dog just didn't get to see very much on account of Aggie's hand was over its lens.
It was stressed, okay? It peed a little.
She like swats her hand and there's just like lubricant on it. Like, what the hell? It wet me.
Oh no.
Well,
So, chores. Looking pointedly
Very
at
well.
Luca.
So 24 hours as timed by our fish companion dog. I will be in your service to do chores around your home as you need. At which point, at the completion of which, you will see to uncursing Varys Greenleaf and the remaining crew of the Silver Dancer when is appropriate for them so that they may be above water and not in a risk of drowning. And we will return you.
Leave alive after returning the shell to you.
Yes.
With their souls firmly in their own control. Under their own jurisdiction.
what particular wording? If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were afraid of me.
Simply cautious.
I take it Duncan made quite the impression on you.
Sorry, really didn't mean to laugh, but I suppose you could say that. Willie looks pointedly at N.
Very well. Very well. 24 hours of this nice young man in my service to do my chores, and then I will provide you with a break, and you will return the conch to me, and if you do, I will let you leave unharmed. Does that sound agreeable?
Are we just all looking at each other?
I'm going
Did
to
I
offer
cut
her my
out?
hand.
Luca.
Oh, Luca. Which one?
The fleshy one.
Oh, Luca.
I just got this prosthetic. I'm not giving it up.
Oh, Luca.
So,
Old Aggie takes your hand in both of her own and, like, squeezes and you can feel just like how rough and scarred her hands are. The texture is quite unsettling. But she squeezes your hand briefly and says, "Good," and then releases it. And twirls around with a finger in the air, okay, and says, "All right, so first, I have quite a list of things for you to do. First of all, I need you to scrub the dirty pots and plates."
Mm-hmm. Would you like to tell me everything so I can make an attack plan?
No, I will give you the tasks as I need them. If your two friends were willing to help, perhaps things would go a little faster, but I assume they don't want to.
I'm gonna look at N quietly. And do you want to say anything in my brain in response to the face I'm making that is saying, "Should we?"
And has kind of a conflicted look on their face, like they're contemplating something, but they're not letting you in on what they're contemplating.
Okay, ignoring that, I'll help.
Willow, you don't need to.
I'll
You have
help,
such nice
Luca.
fur.
What?
Under the same deal,
Aggie,
can I
I
ask
would
you some questions?
Oh, I look at N.
And is now staring very pointedly at the hag.
I will wash dishes then. And I give N
Okay.
a squinting expression, like, what are you doing?
Oh. Willow just
I'll assist
entirely
with the
fully
chores.
turned towards you.
I have some
Pardon?
questions, and under the same deal that we just made, and in addition to it, the same parameters, can I ask you some questions?
Quietly,
I'll let you
I'm
ask me
interjecting.
questions if you let me ask you some questions. I mean, that seems only fair. Some information for some information.
You
And
seem
a
to know
service
something
for a
about me
service.
already, but is that another bargain? Because I'm not making another bargain with you.
No.
It's the same parameters.
N,
What?
do you think there are other ways you can find answers?
No, Willow. I don't think there is.
Feel free to ask me questions and, well, if you're willing to help service,
Yes, I will
I
help.
would be quite happy to answer some questions. A little bit of chatter. It's quite pleasant sometimes.
It should keep us occupied. And says with a wry smile, and looks at Willow and Luca, but not like sharply, like they look nervous almost when they look at Willow and Luca. You see like a break in their hard expression. Like they're not confident about what they just did, and you just saw that, but then they snap back to
Yes.
it.
Yeah,
I'll ask
Willow
a
can see
question.
that face.
Is your name Agatha or just Aggie? And are we allowed to call you Aggie?
My name is Aggie, yes.
Okay, you can ask me a question now. I say with my hands in the dirty water, washing dishes.
Okay. Alright, good. Aggie says, I'll have to think of a good question to ask you. In the
And-
meantime,
and
she
starting to
points at
look
Willow.
twitchy, wants to do something, and is like looking around for something
Yeah.
to do.
In the meantime, you can dust the shelves, and you, she points at N, can repair the fishing nets.
Sure.
Let's swap, maybe. I can repair
Yeah.
them faster.
You know what? That's probably a good point. Willow is more skilled with their hands than I am. You'll have better results.
Very
I
well.
was a talented fisher person.
Thank you. Let's just say Willow looked very snippy, very short at N, but upon seeing that they were frightened, is now, wouldn't say softening, but is
Less harsh.
resigned. Resigned.
Oh. Do we only get one question, or can we ask many questions?
I would. Willow
You
is not
can
being
ask
listened
as
to, so
many
Willow's walking
questions as
away.
you like. You can ask as many questions as you like, but you might not like the answers.
I have a question. What happens to Duncan?
Old Aggie sort of chuckles to herself. Oh, he became a bitter old man trapped by his own grief.
Oh, we saw that part quite closely. I meant what happens to his spirit?
What, after he died?
His dying breath. Where is he now?
He's dead?
How does it belong to you then?
Well, I found out once he died.
Is that
A
it?
dying breath is a very abstract thing. They're difficult to keep, and well, if you were asking me how I keep dying breaths, that's another
Yes.
question entirely.
Okay, then how do you keep dying breaths? I just don't see why you would want one if it weren't useful to you in some way.
Well, I could teach you, but you'd need to sign up to be my apprentice, and I don't think you have the guts for it. It's a
I
bit
have
of a
the guts. I
trade
simply have no
secret.
interest. Okay, well, I don't want to know then. Thank you.
No, I know your kind.
My
You're a
God.
coward.
I'm going to go fish those nets. Fix those fish nets, rather. Fish nets. Goodness gracious. Fishing nets.
Okay. So,
And his
Willow and Luke, as you start on your chores, Willow, give me your
I'm being
choice
tempted.
of a dexterity check or a tinker's tools check.
We'll go dexterity. I imagine it's a lot of like rope throwing,
Mm-hmm.
I guess. And also, as an aside, Willow leaves Fish Dog in there to
Okay.
scope.
Yeah.
Just to float there, probably hanging
Yeah.
around near N.
Okay.
All right, dexterity.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, that was a saving throw. Oopsie.
It's the same value because you're not proficient, so
Okay,
take the number.
hold on.
so that's fine. The number?
Yeah, I'll let you
Keep
keep
the
it.
Thanks.
Okay, so you busy yourself with that. Luca, give me a constitution check on those disgusting dishes. It's not that the work is hard, it's that it's gross. Okay. You succeed, but you feel so bad for putting your nice new hand through
Yeah.
this.
I'm willing to
Like-
bet she didn't have a dishwashing glove.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No gloves,
No.
not much in the way of dish soap, and the water is lukewarm and scummy.
Ugh.
So
Well, I got
it's-
them as
it's
clean
a-
as I could.
Yeah. You make a valiant effort, it just takes a while, and like you don't feel great about it. And while those two are setting to their chores, what would you like to do?
Well, I was tasked with dusting, so N is going to look around for a duster before they think better of themselves, and ask Aggie, so, what am I dusting?
She gestures at the shelves. There's a cloth around here somewhere that you can find.
I need to find it.
She shrugs.
You don't
If you have one of your own, feel free.
And, like, briefly glances at the tufts of feathers on their clothing.
I'm sure you have a rag somewhere in your belongings, like a handkerchief or something.
Probably. So, we're gonna use that since that's less likely to be a threat. And
Yeah.
assumes.
Fair enough.
Then we'll, like,
Also,
pat themselves and forgo the 5 knives they find in the process before they yank out a handkerchief.
At the mention of a question from N about what they're going to do, Fish Dog blips as if they are listening, by the way. But
Okay.
nonetheless doesn't do anything.
Willow's still in the in the inside of the barge.
I
have a
imagine
feeling
Willow's
outside.
like slightly
Okay, yeah.
outside, but
sitting
yeah.
on the threshold.
The ears are pointed inside, however.
Yeah,
They're
just like
they're back.
swivel ears.
They're straight back. So, Aggie, and says almost casually as they begin to dust. Seems you already know a thing or two about me.
Oh yes, I took the liberty of having a little peek at you
Well, it's not
before you got in here.
hard to see. Something isn't quite right with me now, is it?
Oh.
Under my clothes, right?
What?
Willow laughs outside.
If you took a peek at us, was it under our clothes? Because that is untoward for a lady such as yourself.
You think I'm a lady? Oh, what a charming young man.
Oh boy. This is the most En's been thrown off the entire time they walked into this fucking barge. Which is par for the course, really.
No.
Thanks, Luca.
At least, yeah. Thanks, Luca. You got a laugh out of Willow in the distance. So.
Anyway.
We didn't say no. Luca's going back to the scrubbing, but he feels self-conscious now.
Yeah, like I said, you can ask Aggie questions, but is she going to give you a straight answer? She's a weird old woman.
Willow is going to look over at Luca and say, "Don't worry about it," very quietly. Just hearing the sloshing of the dishes, panicking.
Oh.
So your
Well.
question, Anne?
In any case.
Anyway.
Have you seen anything like it before? The eye.
Oh, you don't know what it is?
No, I don't know what
no.
it is. What is it?
That's interesting. I'd assumed the old seer had granted you that seed itself, but no, it looks like someone's decided to use your pretty little head as a flower pot. Isn't that something?
That's one way to put it, yes. Do you know what happened to me?
I can guess. I certainly see the results of it.
It's quite obvious, yes. Is it... Is it reversible?
Nothing is truly reversible. You will never be the same thing that you were before this happened to you. But could it be removed? Well, it might kill you to remove it as it is, but perhaps you could find a way to stop the roots from growing any deeper. Have you perhaps tried petitioning a throne of Serania? Or maybe one of the pashas of Fernia? Perhaps even me.
You're capable of it?
Oh, I don't know. That would entirely depend on how much you're willing to do to be rid of it.
And
Like I said, you could get it removed. Might kill you in the process. Or you could trade it for something else. Or simply
trade it for
stuff it in its
something
tracks.
else. You think I'm that stupid?
I think you're that desperate.
Well,
You don't like what you're becoming. You didn't like what you were to begin with. It's not hard to see. You missed a spot over there, she gestures.
and
you're dusting.
Like, kind of nibbling lightly on the inside of their mouth, and so you can see their expression shifting as they kind of sharply move to dust the next area. And what happens to me if I don't stop the roots from growing? What then?
Well, what do you think seeds do? It'll sprout and eventually bloom. No idea what will become of it or what will grow.
It
It's
doesn't
a very
want.
weird seed.
It doesn't want to be here.
Well, no, but I imagine nobody wants to be born either. It seems a dreadfully unpleasant experience. Get shoved out of your nice, warm little home, kicking and screaming, and then suddenly everything is bright and horrible and painful? No, I don't imagine anybody would enjoy that, especially if you're conscious of the whole thing. It's honestly a blessing for you mortals that you forget your first moments.
Did it not?
Forget?
How much does it know? Was it born when it became part of me? What are you trying to say?
Well, it's a part of you now.
It's different from what it was before?
In the sense that you were different before it became a part of you, yes.
Think of its origins. Then.
Now that would spoil the fun.
Nothing. Is it from this plane?
You have...
Is it from this plane?
Oh! Now that's an interesting question.
Yes, it is. That's why I asked it.
Perhaps you could give us an interesting answer.
Thank you, Luca. Very sassy.
Hmm.
No, that wasn't sassy. That was me being nice.
Okay, Luca, stop it. You just ruined it.
Well, here's a question for you to answer your question. Are you from this plane? Truly, is life from the material plane, or is it simply a byproduct?
Willows rolled their eyes and returned to their fishing nets.
I'm joking. No, it is not of this plane. Or not originally, at least.
So someone took it from its plane and gave it to me.
That is one way of looking at it.
Do you know who would want to do something like that?
Oh, I'm sure you already know. You ran afoul of some very wicked people, and they decided to use you for their own purposes. You knew that already.
Look, we're not talking about that.
Are we not?
Anyway, what plane is it from? Do you have any inclination?
Oh, it's very obvious once you know what to look for, and you're a smart little thing. I'm sure you can figure it out.
Oh yes, because my 5 years of trying to figure it out of just me being stupid all that time.
No, you were just very, very sad, very lost, and very desperate.
I guess one thing hasn't changed now, has it?
And yet other things have changed.
Well, that's the nature of life now, isn't it?
Indeed. And you can either make a dexterity check or, so dexterity sleight of hand or arcana check to dust the shelves.
Arcana.
To avoid setting off anything weird.
Yeah, I can assume that's a...
Oh, thank God.
Don't worry, making an
Hey,
aggressive
I
is just making them a better cleaner.
Yeah, for some reason you work really well while having a really tense conversation with a naggy old woman.
I like keeping my hands busy, okay?
Yeah.
Have I finished washing the dishes?
Yeah, by this point, yes.
Okay. What would you like me to do next? That is the question.
Oh, I have just the thing. Brush my hair for me.
Okay. Where would you like to sit?
She'll sit on one of the stools at the table.
Yeah. Do you have a brush?
She produces like this very sort of snaggled bone comb that is like missing a few teeth and hands it to you.
Okay. Lucas starts
Oh.
doing it, and it seems like he knows what he's doing. Probably from brushing Sika Elsa's hair.
Yeah.
He starts at the bottom and starts working his way up in small sections.
Okay, I would like you to make a strength check because these knots are tough as fuck.
I'm just trying to see, do I have anything that could bump up my strength? Okay.
You're strong.
Okay.
Hey, nice. Okay, so you start like attacking Aggie's hair, which is just like more knots than anything else. It is, it defies reason how tangled her hair is.
I will make...
Like it's the way it moves, it's like it seems to turn. Like it seems like it tangles itself into knots as you are brushing it. But you like with the comb in hand, you like years of practice, presumably, you like take each section like in your hand and like firmly start methodically combing through all the knots. It is going to take you a while though, so feel free to keep talking.
While they're doing that, En's gonna move over to the door just to kind of stick their head out and get some air.
Yeah, it is like quite warm in here and muggy. If you like go outside for a second, Aggie says, "Close the door behind you. You'll let in the draft."
And looks at Willow.
Am I not sitting in the doorway? Or was I just sitting at the door?
I assume
imagine
you
you're
like
sitting,
got
like-
the net. I imagine you got the net and like brought it inside, and yeah.
Ugh, Willow wants to be near an open window as much as possible, but yeah. Ugh, it's fine. Yeah, I'm just sitting here, I guess. Bastard.
En's not gonna go outside just yet. They're just gonna take a breath and then slink back
Okay.
in.
Willow's
All
looking
right.
at you.
And
Quick
is looking
question.
at you, Willow.
Okay.
But not.
Good.
There's something in their eyes that you can't quite read. And then they move back to like a corner.
So yeah, like Willow, you're just about finishing with the nets. You have beautifully repaired them.
Yes.
And
Yes, I
untangled them
have.
and like yeah,
Folded them.
you feel quite proud of yourself for repairing all the rips and such in it.
Yes. Silver linings.
Yeah.
Luca? I'm now listening keenly for what Luca's going to say. Also, that squish of the frickin' brush struggling.
Yeah.
I've had such experiences with my hair. I know what the Eeltongue is going through. My question is...
Is that Luca or is that Sarah?
Sorry.
That is Sarah. My question is, do you get a lot of visitors?
Oh, not a lot. In fact, you are the most visitors I've had in quite some time.
Willow, you're finished?
Yep. Willow stands up and presents their handiwork. Ta-da!
Ooh, nicely done.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
What else?
Very well, if you're done, then I can, Why don't you, You seem to be a little bit antsy to be outside. Why don't you go catch some eels for me?
Catch? Sure. Willow will walk outside, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay, so there are lines and hooks and such for the purpose of catching eels. Make a survival check.
Survival.
So while you are doing that, and Luca, you are in the room with Aggie.
And Fish Dog is there. Always.
Yeah, and Fish Dog. Fish Dog is sort
always
of
taking pictures.
bobbing nervously.
How did you know what you said to us when we came into the room? I know you mentioned that you looked at us, but what does that entail?
Aggie just chuckles and taps what looks to be like a sort of raggedy velvet cloth draped over something that's sitting on the table. There's like a faint sound of like glass underneath it. I have my way.
I'm sitting on the floor, like with my legs crossed, because you have to start at the bottom when you're getting out knots. And
Yeah.
I kind of lean around to look at what she's tapping. And I
It
glance
looks
at Anne
like
because I'm not sure what it is.
something round, something spherical under this cloth.
Can Fish Dog investigate that?
Yep, if Fish Dog would like to make a perception check.
Fish Dog would like to make a perception check. Skills?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
fantastically
honey.
done,
Oh,
little
no.
shit.
Sorry, Fish
Still-
Dog.
Still got a 5
Maybe
though.
she. Maybe.
Fish Dog has like a little bit of grease on its faceplate
Oh.
and can't see through the. And it's also like,
Oh.
that sure is a sphere under a cloth.
Beep boop, it's round.
Round. Wow.
Then know what it
Absolutely
is.
noted.
Can Anne make a check too?
You can make either an Arcana check, an Investigation check, or a Perception check, your choice. So Arcana would be educated guess.
Mm-hmm. Kind of perception or investigation, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Same thing. That's sure is
circle
round.
Under a cloth. You know what? I'm gonna have a look too.
You're close, Luca. Maybe you'll stand a chance.
What am I looking?
For you, it would just be Perception.
Good. Fuck. Alright, it's a ball under a cloth. What is the ball under the cloth, Miss Aggie?
Oh,
Oh god.
Perhaps I'll show you later once you're done.
Good job, everyone.
You're so lucky Willow wasn't there because Willow would have touched it by now.
Do you have any other questions for me?
Look at N, since they seemed to be very gung-ho about asking questions.
And looks a little dazed. They're not looking at you or Aggie. They just kind of are staring at nothing
Fish Dog beep boops around Anne's head.
and kind of flinches and doesn't wave it away with any force, but just kind of like flicks their hand at it.
Beep boop, but sad.
I'm
Beep boop.
I'm fine, and says like gently, like kind of nudging it along.
Oh. Beep boop.
I have a question.
Beep boop.
The magic that you gave Duncan, was it real? The magic to enchant Varys.
Oh, it was real enough. It worked.
But were they Did they have love for each other without your magic?
I don't know.
Oh. I thought you were.
You might as well ask, what would happen if the war had never started? I don't know. We simply do not live in the world where that didn't happen. I suppose if you break the curse on him, you could ask the captain himself.
That is a good point. You are very wise.
You are a very nice young man. She reaches back and pats you on the head.
Luca doesn't flinch at all. No hesitation.
Good for him.
No issue. She might have noticed that he's been thinking about his own hair.
No, if she notices, she doesn't say anything.
Particularly because her hair is white. All right. You know what? I'm going to ask a question. Is that all right?
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
Do you know why my hair is white?
I imagine it has something to do with that mark on your back.
What?
You heard what I said.
Beep boop.
I'm going to just keep brushing her hair because I have no idea what she's talking about.
Okay. Yeah, you work your way through it, and you've dusted all the shelves. Well, you return at this point with a pair of eels.
Just flopping about.
Yeah, I mean, I assume. Yeah, they're in a basket, sort of.
I mean,
an eel trap.
Did you see Willow and the crabs? I just imagine.
Willow's going to plop this on the table in front of the hag. Is that enough?
Table next
that'll
to
do very nicely for supper.
Next to
What
the
else?
circle under the cloth.
I'm looking at that circle now. What else?
Okay.
Can I perceive that circle? Now that I'm very
we
close.
brought her cheese. I just remembered by looking at that cheese wheel.
Of course we did. Of course we did.
Of course you brought cheese.
Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we have
Why
brought cheese?
wouldn't we? I forgot that. We all forgot the cheese.
Yeah.
How could we forget the cheese?
Why did I forget the cheese?
Fools!
Okay, so I am going to... Actually, you know what?
And still looks very dazed when Willow gets back.
Willow has noticed, but we're gonna just... we'll just deal with that later. What can I use to assess this orb now that I've seen it very close?
Yeah, this would be Arcana or investigation check.
I'm gonna go Arcana. Can I make Fish Dog give me advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. Fish Dog probably alerted Willow to the fact that there was something there. As well. By beep booping around it.
Yeah.
So Arcana...
It was trying to scan, but it couldn't get through the cloth.
Just does like an R2-D2 scream and circles the...
round! Scary round!
Secret.
That is most likely a crystal bowl, the kind used for scrying. You, Willow, would be pretty familiar. You've seen those kinds of things before. The cloth is usually to keep sunlight from hitting it, to stop it from starting fires.
Fair.
There's a lot of wood around.
Yep.
Willow's going to tilt their head openly at it. You can continue, sorry, describing it. My bad.
Yeah, it is like quite possibly a crystal bowl, and like you've seen this kind of thing in the work of like augurs or diviners oracles, that sort of thing. Usually people who predict the weather or do some fortune telling. This one is quite large for what it is. And obviously, like, you can't exactly tell what it's made of, since it is under a cloth, and I assume you're not, like,
No.
actively...
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Not yet. But, like, it is quite large, and in a place of pride, it looks like it sees a lot of use. There's not, like, dust collected on the cloth itself. So, yeah.
Willow's going to say, that's a very large orb.
Yes, it's one of my favorite tools to use.
I can imagine. I suppose that's how you had the insights about us.
You're not wrong. Clever thing.
How does it work?
Aggie, like, reaches across the table and tries to, like, grab Willow by the chin.
Willow pulls way the fuck back, actually. Willow, like, leans back, like, gravity.
Okay, we're gonna contest this.
Oh,
No.
God.
Strength versus dexterity.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Beat a 16 to avoid having your face grabbed.
Oh, my God. Oh, come on!
Yeah, okay, so she grabs your face between both hands and, like, pulls you so that she is, like, staring directly into your eyes through your glasses.
And flinches
and,
at that
like,
point and, like, turns to face the scene.
And, like, it says, "Oh, you are very clever to find a workaround for your misfortune." What an interesting side effect. What an interesting workaround. Quite ingenious.
Can I...
She lets go of your face after, like, condescendingly patting you on the cheek.
Willow reels back, looking a little bit shaken by it, but quickly adjusts their coat and says, "What else do you want me to do?"
Oh, you're quite done, I think. You've done a fine amount of work. Yes. You succeeded wonderfully at all the tasks I gave you. Like I said, working together makes things go a lot faster.
So am I just supposed to enjoy the ambience until we go? This is a joke, but it's not really told with the the tone of a joke.
Nope. Once this nice young man is done brushing my hair, I will tell you what needs be done. If you have any other questions, and I'm sure you do, question is more if you're going to ask them.
Alright, that does it. How did I lose my memories?
What? Leans
Oh, how did you
in.
lose them? Well, I imagine you got quite a nasty knock on the head when you lost your arm, and I imagine that pain tends to erase all sorts of details in mortals' minds, especially very severe pain. And that mark, well, it saved your life, but... She shrugs.
My hands have stopped.
You got very, very hurt. And it hurt your little brain as well. Maybe it'll repair someday.
Do you know how I can fix it?
Oh, I don't know. If you wanted to be direct about it, you could petition the Forgotten Prince in his castle, but you'd have to bring something for trade, and, well, you don't have much left to lose, do you now? I'd say better go the long way around the way you mortals do. Perhaps finding the things you forgot will remind you. Tends to be the case, you know? You clean out your house and suddenly you're staring at old mementos of friends long gone, things that you forgot you even had. But finding them always reminds you.
Where in Karnath should I go?
I imagine Reckonmark will tell you quite a bit.
I need to go outside for a moment, excuse me.
Luca.
Willow just shifts to the other side of the door.
And watches him go.
Very nice young man. You should be kinder to him. She glares at both Willow and Anne.
Okay. Willow's going to sit across from Aggie again. I prefer if you keep your hands to yourself. Just as an aside.
Duly noted.
From where do you hail?
Talanis originally. But I've lived here for quite some time. Oh, it's very pleasant. Plenty of eels. Plenty of frogs.
There are plenty of eels and plenty of frogs in many places. Why come here?
I suppose it's convenient.
In what sense?
Well, the marsh is nice and quiet, but there are still people around, so I get visitors occasionally. Not so many that I attract unwanted attention, you know. I like my privacy quite well. But an interesting conversation with some interesting people now and then, every few years. It's quite pleasant.
You use
the
the conch
sea
shell.
air is good for my health, you know.
Sorry, I wasn't interested. Why do you use the conch shell?
Oh, that was a gift.
From who?
From the immeasurable market. The old mare who made it nearly swallowed his old gills when I beat him at charades. It's quite a treasure. A bit curmudgeonly at times. Has a bit of that old codfish's personality in it, I'd guess, but it's been good to me over the years. Quite convenient for making calls and all sorts of spell casting. Very useful for someone like me in my profession.
Suppose so. Willow is pinching.
How long are you going to hold on to it?
Until we finish.
I see.
As we arranged.
That was the deal.
I'm going to lightly tap on the door so that people know I'm coming back in.
Well, suitably recovered your constitution?
Yes, thank you for asking. It's very kind of you to care.
Very well.
I'll finish
It
your
has
hair.
been like, it has, I imagine it's been like a few hours of you guys doing chores.
God.
Like, I want to say it's been like 2-3 hours, so that's about mid-afternoon. No, it was about noon when you found her, so it would be late afternoon by this point.
I might have been watching the sun. I'm going to finish doing her hair.
Okay. Yeah.
Going to pretty much as soon as Luca walks back in, Willow's walking off again. I might go look at the toad. Where is the toad?
It's over here in this
the cheese wheel.
the bird cage.
That's what reminded me we brought her cheese.
Oh, right.
I thought it was a cheese wheel.
I think Aggie is like
angry worm.
eating her cakes and drinking her alcohol and I think dipping the cheese into the jam. Getting crumbs like absolutely everywhere. As Luca is brushing her hair.
I'm glad to know she's having a comfortable time while this is happening.
Yeah.
Where did you get your frog friend?
Oh, Miriam is a toad. I understand they're easily confused, but you see, toads are very warty, and frogs are very smooth. Miriam's been a dear friend of mine, since we were girls.
Is it a real frog? Is it a person? Toad, I apologize.
What do you mean? Of course Miriam is real.
Well, you seem very powerful. I thought maybe Miriam may have been a person at some point.
I was hoping that Miriam's a prince, aren't you?
Why would I want to keep a prince for a pet?
Princes can
No, that's... What'd you say?
Princes can be very handsome.
And what would I want to do with handsome?
Aggie loves ugly. Hence the decor.
Well, your own personal interpretation of handsome.
Princes are useless to me.
Princes are useless in general. I'm joking. Haha. Ha ha ha. Willow seems to have tossed away a bit of that glowering that they had before and is back to idly chuckle fucking about everything.
Mm-hmm. So, since we're almost finished here, I need some ingredients to make the cure. I have most of what I need, but these last 3 items I need to be fresh to make the magic work strong. It's been a long time and, curses are stubborn things to break. So you'll need to retrieve the ingredients and bring them back to me, and then I will make you the cure.
We can do that.
Very well. I will need you to bring me the feathers of a cockatrice, the tongue of a giant frog, and the blooms of a mantrap plant. If you travel upstream where the forest meets the marsh, you should be able to hunt for all you need. Come back here with the ingredients, and I'll pay you for your housework by making you the cure. And I assume by then you will finally return what is rightfully mine. She looks at Willow like as if Willow has kicked her toad. Very reproachful look.
Willow's smile is very large back.
Yeah, this cure of yours, will it keep for us to return to the men?
Oh, it should keep quite well. It's just that the ingredients need to be fresh when I make it. You understand?
Okay. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you for explaining.
How much will it be? Will it be enough for more than one person?
Yes, I think so. Well, provided you bring me all the ingredients I need.
I managed to get her hair, completely free of knots.
Yeah, you've gotten all of the tangles out, which is
okay,
remarkable.
I'm going to braid it while I'm
Oh boy. Make a sleight of hand check.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, you put some nice braids in it. Relatively loose so that she can take them out herself if needs be.
But just enough to maybe keep some of the tangles out for a little while.
Yeah. It is kind of stunning to see the transformation from what she looked like when you first came in here. It's she looked a little bit like a bad cousin It. And while her face is still the same, her hair is very nicely straightened out. It was this absolute haystack of tangled, matted white, and now it's smooth and a little bit shiny.
Wow. Very impressive.
Luca did a great job.
Congratulations, Luca.
Thank
Miracle
you.
worker.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if that's all we need to know.
What was it we needed?
Cockatrice feathers, the tongue of a giant frog, and mantrap plant flowers.
All upstream, yes?
Flowers.
Yes.
giant frog tongue.
Okay.
And
If you have any questions, you'd best ask them now. It's going to be dark soon, and I imagine, well, I'm not keeping you for the night.
I look at N.
And looks contemplative but pale.
I look at Luca.
Is there anything else you can tell us that might help N?
I have some ideas.
Like what?
Well, I could give you a fortune-telling, but best save that until after you've brought me back the ingredients for the cure. You wouldn't want to increase the terms of our prearranged agreement.
No, not particularly. Fine. And looks at Luca. They look confused almost. Not openly. They still look angry, as they often do. But there's a confusion at Luca, and it's a similar glance that they gave Willow earlier, when Willow started to cut in with their own questions earlier on in this conversation. They just seem very confused by what's happening here, but in a subtle way. And they're going to turn to the door and get ready to head out. Thank you.
Very well. I will see you anon then.
Luca. Willow is gesturing for you to go.
Are you certain?
Yeah, we should head out. Willow says, not moving.
Willow? And looks back.
One
to the door.
moment.
Okay, I'm going to...
Look,
Put
I'm
my
relying
arm
on your shoulders to
between-
push N out the door.
Yeah, I'm putting my arm between them, and I'm just gonna
But
casually usher N out.
Luca, Willow, just
I trust
be
Willow.
careful.
I'm not doing anything. Relax.
Don't touch anything. And says out the door.
Okay, that's a very good point. Please don't touch anything that isn't
I'm.
allowed.
Willow laughs and looks over at you guys. It's okay.
Okay, come on in.
If they get outside, Anna's gonna double and close the door. Anna's gonna double back and press their ear to the door through the closed door.
Luca does too.
There's a slight creak at the door as two faces wedge against the crack.
It's okay. But Willow is talking very quietly.
Okay, make a
With stealth?
no. Luca and N make a perception check with disadvantage.
Damn it.
Okay. Perception.
See how much of this you can hear.
Oh no.
Nice.
Oh, disadvantage, bomber.
Yeah.
Oh, well. It's okay. It's only a quick
stupid.
question.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Luca, you are distracted by the fact that N is so small. You're leaning over them, and
and
your head
just-
is level with your sternum.
Just slots in there.
Maybe I'm too worried about what I heard about N. I'm still
Yeah.
thinking about that.
And they're so
what
small,
was told
too.
To me.
They're so small.
Yeah.
They have sort of a big energy about them because they're so prickly all the time. But now that you're standing really close to them, you're oh.
That's
I
a
need-
Anyway, we come back inside. Willow.
Aggie.
Yes.
Plane is N's eye from.
Sorry, could you repeat that? I didn't hear it.
What plane is N's eye from?
Give me the conch shell back now, and I'll tell you plainly.
That would compromise our deal, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily.
not necessarily isn't the same as no.
I'm under no obligation to answer that question. I think you know.
Riddle me this. You think I know? So I could find out.
She nods.
Then I suppose I don't
You're
really need you, do
clever.
I?
Oh no.
Willow says this with a laugh.
Nobody needs what old Aggie has, except what they decide that they need for themselves. But sometimes people don't know what they need, and old Aggie can tell them.
How about this? I tell you the secret about my glasses, and you narrow it down to 3.
You tell me the secret about your glasses, and I'll answer yes or no. I'm sure you can guess.
I'm sure I can guess. Then why would I bargain my secrets away? I'll go get your frog's tongue, and I'll solve the rest myself. Thank you. Willow's going to leave.
Until we meet again.
Hearing Willow
Willow
approach, Ed is going to like shoot off the door and go and hang out at the edge of the barge and stare out at the water. He's like quick as a flash.
You didn't make out much of the conversation, En.
I heard my name.
Willow, Luca, you couldn't hear much at all. You heard like bits and pieces, but it was mostly spoken in such low tones that like you mostly got tone rather than words.
Willow walks out looking very cavalier.
Yeah.
You're alive.
For once.
Good, let's go.
What? Aren't you always alive?
That's the question. Willow hops into
I'm gonna stick my head back in and like wave, like we'll be back soon. And usher Willow off.
Aggie like waves back to you. Take care, dears.
Thank you.
Yeah.
They really do live up to the fairy tales, doesn't she?
She's certainly something.
She was nice enough. Lucas says delusional. No, he's making a face. She's like, she was nice enough. I don't know if I agree with that.
Shaking head at the camera.
Luca is trying to be polite, even when Luca does not agree with himself. Anyway, so I think we will take a break here.
Yes.
And be back in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
So I've put you back on the landing screen as you row away from old Aggie Eeltongue's barge, presumably heading back towards salvage before the night falls.
Oh, I see.
Oh.
I thought we were going to get the stuff now.
Yeah,
well,
I thought we
it
were
is
going, like,
almost nighttime.
overnight camping trip kind of thing.
Oh, if you want to do that, do you have camping supplies?
I have mine on me, yes.
Do you have a tent?
Wait.
Uh,
I leave mine at home. Luca?
Dang it. No, I don't have a tent. Alright, we'll go back to salvage for now.
All she said is that she needs them to be fresh. So it just means, like, once you have the ingredients, you need to get them to her within a day.
Okay, we
Okay,
should probably go back, have 3 showers, and then we can fetch things in the morning and then return to her. And hopefully it won't take us 4 hours to find her barge again.
Now we've got,
We know
You
where
have
it
a
is.
feeling that now that you know where it is, it's probably going to be easier to find.
got some
We'll
landmarks.
never forget the smell.
We do have the boat for another day, so...
What's the vibe of the boat on the way home? I feel like it's just gonna be quiet.
Oh yeah, the rowboat is like super tense after you decide like you should head home and that you'll get the ingredients tomorrow in the morning.
Hmm.
So should we talk about what we just...
You don't have your memory, huh?
No, I don't.
How long? I guess you wouldn't know that.
4 years.
Oh. Ah.
Oh,
I see.
you do know.
Vaguely.
That's
I'm vaguely aware of how long I've been aware.
that's a while. Nothing has come back to you?
Make
It's
a yeah.
Yeah.
Make an intelligence check, Luca. Right
Great.
now. I'll give you advantage. It's been a while. Oh, hey, nice.
Oh.
Okay, so you have some idea. You have some general ideas. You know that you were in the Karnath military. You know you grew up in Karnath. You vaguely remember a big house from childhood. And you remember all of your skills, but it's like the details of your own life that are sort of missing.
I know very little of who I was. I know where I was, and I know how I was, but I don't know who I was.
You don't have any memories of people you know that should be in your life. You don't remember your parents. You don't remember friends. All the sort of names and faces are missing.
Well, you can start anew, right? You don't have to carry whatever happened to you in the war and gestures to Luca's arm. You can just be someone new. Isn't that liberating?
I don't know. What if I liked who I was before?
What if you didn't?
I won't know until I find out.
No. That's your prerogative. I'm not gonna stop you.
What of the people I loved?
Don't you think if someone loved you, they would have found you by now?
You don't know if they could. You don't know your last name.
Yeah. I don't know who I am.
You
So-
know your
Sorry.
date of birth and you know your first name because that was all that was left on the identifying tag. But the rest of it had been sort of broken in a way that made it unrecognizable.
And you have the same face.
After
look
the
for the
war,
end.
I wasn't in a position where I was around people who may have known me.
Right. So you're trying to go back to find out. Is that what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense. Well, I hope whatever you find is beneficial to you.
I do as well.
And adjust
And if
themselves in the boat. Sorry, that was the squeak of my desk.
May I ask of you, or is that...
Well,
I feel you aren't very comfortable speaking about it since...
and looks at Willow a bit, because they've been looking at Luca this entire time. So look over at Willow.
Willow is, like, kind of just reclining against the side of the boat, like, looking out at the sea. At the water, sorry. And, just sitting. Not really seeming like they're invested, but not... Obviously, they are in proximity. Occasionally looking from the water to the sky, and just sort of, like, reclining, looking like they could probably lie down flat any second now if they wanted.
Oh, I'm sure you heard plenty back there. I didn't exactly hold back. It's been a long time since I've been able to ask anyone that seems like they might have known a damn thing. So I'm not sure what there's left to ask about me.
I was right about
You ha-
something.
Oh, really?
Mm.
Care to
When I
share with
told
the
you that you
class?
didn't need to ask the hag. Yes. I told you didn't need to ask the hag.
About what exactly?
Any of it.
You don't know anything, Willow.
Sure, we would have. Okay, I'm going to look back at the water again.
No,
You were saying, Luca?
Look, I appreciate you trying to get more information out of her, but I'm at the end of my rope. So yes, I did need to ask her. Doesn't matter what you think, you haven't been in my shoes.
Can you tell us about your shoes, or is that too much?
Do you want to be more specific?
Well, you said so we haven't been in your shoes. Can you tell us about your shoes so we know what your shoes are like?
Are there laces?
They're buttons, if you would like to look. It says lifting their boot, which is buttoned at as like rivets on either end of the straps over the front.
Very fashionable.
Thank you.
I didn't
Looks
mean
back
your...
at the water.
Yes, Luca, I know you didn't mean it literally. I've been dealing with this for 5 years, I think. Trust me, I've exhausted a lot of options. That's all I'm saying. And who knows how long I have to try my options from here.
So, was this conversation helpful in some way?
I'm still trying to figure that out.
You want a hug?
No, thank you. I'm fine. Trust me, I've been dealing with this for a long time. It's nothing I'm not accustomed to at this point.
You did have a useful discussion, in case you're not aware yet. Granted, it was probably upsetting for you, so that's okay. But it was useful. If seeking the origin of your eye is your concern, then you were given workable details.
Wait, your eye is not normal?
I believe that was the nature of their discussion.
And just kind of looks at Luca. Again, just really not sure what to make of this man. Or what is going in one ear and what is it doing in the process before it comes out the other.
I thought it just looked like that.
That's fair. That's a fair assessment. There are many eyes all across the land. I suppose you see a lot of them. You don't always find all of them curious.
Well, I don't think most of them glow from the pupil, but sure.
You
know
never
what?
know.
I appreciate that you think it was normal. That's the first time I've ever heard that.
He just thought I gave you an eye patch for fun. Oh. Willow's openly laughing now.
You're,
The hag said we should be nicer to you, Luca.
You're
I'm not laughing at you.
you're a funny man, Luca.
You're funny. You're very funny.
She said that?
And I hope you find your memories again.
I hope
And,
if
and
you
I hope
do.
you find the origin of your eyeball. I hope we make it to shore without dying in the ocean. Things are so strange.
You know what? and you actually do see Anne kind of crack a smile over this whole little exchange. Like an actual one, not their retail face one. You know what? We survived this. We survived today, and ideally, we fix Harris, and then maybe we can have a discussion about all of this.
I would like that. I would like to know more about you both.
We know, Luca.
Shall we row on home?
I imagine
have
you
we
were
not
rowing
Rowing this whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
I imagine we were in the
It was
process
fun.
of rowing, but I'm like, shall we arrive home now?
Yeah,
Okay, shall we dock?
yeah. Do we want to cut the scene and?
Yeah. Yeah, we've had our meaningful laugh. Pan up to the moon, pan back down to salvage.
Yeah.
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 We'll take Willow home.
All right.
I feel like Willow would be the last at the boat. Oh, you don't let me walk home on my own. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll dock
You
the
bring
boat.
back the rowboat and tell the fisherman that you borrowed it from that you're going to need it for another day tomorrow.
Mhm.
And he asks you for another.
Is it 5 silver pieces?
I believe so. I'm
Yeah.
gonna double check.
I'll pay for that.
Yeah. Much appreciated. And yeah, you have the rowboat for another day tomorrow. You walk Willow back to their skiff, and then Luca and Dan, you head back to the Nodding Poppy. Seeker Elsa is glad to see you. You have another nice warm meal. I think this time it's probably some kind of.
It's spaghetti.
I think it's potato dumplings
Oh,
and like a little bit of chicken stew.
N eats,
God,
but
yes.
N eats, like, compared to what N has been eating, N eats less. N eats like a normal person's portion today.
Seeker
I'm
Elsa
going
asks you about your day and how it was. The both
We
of
didn't
you.
tell her we were going to a hag, did we?
I imagine not.
I don't think we
I
did.
think I think you said you were going on an excursion to the marsh.
Yes. I'll tell her that we did some work for a woman, and
We're going
She
back
gave
to
us
do
some
more
information.
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
we make a persuasion check.
Yeah. Seeker Elsa is going to make an insight check.
Holy crap!
Oh, can't hide anything from her.
En's not making much
Ooh.
effort to lie, so don't. If you want to
Yeah.
contest that, En's not helping.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Seeker Elsa says, "All right.
Might
Well, I'm
ask
glad
Elsa.
to see you well enough. It seems that it's lucky that it didn't rain while you were out.
Mhm.
Might rain
Can't
tomorrow,
imagine.
though, so
Oh,
best
no.
bundle up if you're planning on going out again."
When we're finished dinner, I want to pull Elsa aside and ask a favor. This may sound odd, but will you come to my room for a moment?
Oh, of course.
When we get there, I'm going to start unbuttoning my shirt. And will you check my back for me, please?
Certainly. Yeah, Elsa is like, certainly. She does not react in like any sort of surprise necessarily. Like, she's a doctor. She knows this sort of deal. And she sort of gestures for you to turn around and then like gently puts her warm hands on your shoulders and runs them over your back. There's quite a lot of scarring back here. Oh, this is interesting. She sort of Sarah, where's the mark again? Right between the shoulder blades?
A little bit higher than that.
Okay, so
The base of the
yeah,
neck.
sort of
Yeah.
at the base of Luca's neck, slightly below that, slightly above the shoulder blades, right in the spot where it would be impossible for him to see. She traces her fingers in a strange sort of squiggle. There's, there's a mark here. It not like a birthmark or a scar, but it sort of shimmers faintly. Huh. Going to make a medicine check for Sika Elsa.
Damn, Secret Elsa.
She's on her ball today.
She's
Yeah.
always on the ball.
She's
She's
amazing.
amazing. God.
We love Secret Elsa.
I believe this is a dragon mark, Luca.
Oh.
Do I know what that is?
Yes. Everybody knows what a dragon mark is in Eberron. It's one of the
Even
things.
-1 intelligence.
Yeah, it's the thing that gives the dragon marked houses their abilities.
Well, that can't be right.
No, I'm certain it is.
But-
This is definitely a dragon mark. This is a mark of the Sentinel.
But wouldn't I know if I were from a house of Dragonmark?
Well, I don't know if that's the case. I mean, sometimes there are people who leave the houses, or I mean, if this is a mark of the Sentinel, this would be House Deneath, and they do sometimes work as mercenaries or soldiers, and I mean, you don't remember anything beyond your last 4 years. Or?
Mm.
And I mean, other times there are people who their families left the house for whatever reason, or they didn't manifest a mark and then their children manifest a mark. I mean, that happens quite a bit here in the Lazar Principalities. I don't know what to say.
Neither do I.
It's quite small, and it's in a very inconvenient spot, so I imagine it's not that surprising that you didn't know about it.
Yeah, that makes
Certainly,
sense.
Yes.
I thought that tingle was part of one of my scars.
She sort of places her hand over it and gives your back a gentle rub. And then a slight pat on the shoulder as she moves away and comes around to face you. Well, perhaps this is a good thing. Perhaps this is a clue as to where you could look to find out more about yourself.
Yes, maybe I can speak with House Deneath.
Yes.
Can I have a hug?
Of course. She reaches her arms up and pulls you in a tight hug and pats the back of your hair gently with her fingers. Oh, Luca. You know I care for you, and you know that I'm your friend. Even if
You're
there
my
are...
best friend.
Thank you. That means quite a lot to me. You know that even if you are doing things that you feel you must do, that I will always listen to you. I know
Thank you.
that it can be difficult to You don't need to hide anything from me. But I won't pry if you want to keep secrets to yourself.
Mm.
You understand that, right? She sort of pulls her hand over to cup the side of your face and looks at you, like, a little sadly.
I don't want you to worry for me. I know it's
Great.
silly.
I'm afraid that's impossible. I care about you, so I will naturally worry about you. It's in my nature. But knowing what you're up to and what you're doing, it might make the worry a little more bearable.
Oh, I feel so guilty.
She rubs her thumb along your cheek and then slowly pulls her hand
Oh, no.
away and
No, I'm gonna
embraces
keep her
you a
hand
little.
on my face because
Okay.
it's comforting. And then I'm going to tell her what's happened over the past few days
Okay.
because I feel guilty.
Elsa listens and like sits with you on your bed after a while and like just keeps petting your hair and holds your hand. Is like, oh, Luca, been through a lot these last few days. Shame.
Mm.
I'm glad you felt comfortable enough to tell me, though.
Sorry for making you worry.
It's all right.
Ask for something for my headache. I've had one since we
Of
left.
course. I'll make you some willow bark tea. I'll be right back,
Thank you.
alright?
Thank you.
She, like, stands up and, like, leans down and presses a little kiss to your forehead and squeezes your shoulder comfortingly. I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Yeah. And what are you up to while...
And probably hasn't left, like, the dining table and just been sitting there since they finished eating. They're just sitting there staring off into space. They do not look like they're present until Elsa comes in, and then they, like, kind of sharply become alert as if danger has just entered the room.
Elsa's like, oh, I didn't mean to startle you. Sorry, I'm just here to make...
Yeah,
Are
it's fine. I should probably go to bed, right? I'm in your space, and I shouldn't be. And like stands up stiffly.
Elsa, like, sort of cuts you off with an arm. She doesn't touch you, but she sort of stands in the way. You look troubled.
That obvious, huh?
Luca just told me about the last couple days. You went to visit a hag today, and before that, he had found you in a lighthouse where there was a ghost.
Yeah, that would be how you describe it.
I'm going to make him some willow bark tea for a headache. Would you like some as well? Or some tea in general. You look like you could use a little bit of comfort.
Sure, if you're offering, all right, and like sinks back into the chair.
Elsa bustles about, making tea, setting the kettle to boil, pours you a cup and stirs a little bit of honey into it extra just for you. Places it in front with like a little tea biscuit on the side.
Elsa, if I can call you that, Seeker, Elsa, I'm
Of
sorry.
course. No, it's fine. Please.
Forgive my ignorance. I'm not really familiar with your religion. But I was curious what would someone of your faith might say to a dying person that has perhaps not lived the most maybe lived a more sinful life.
She pauses and then comes to sit down.
And is not looking at Elsa, and is focused on that tea, laser focused on that tea.
She kind of tilts her head and says, The blood of Vol does not concern itself with what is sinful or what is wrong in this world. There are a lot of cruelties that beset us from the moment that we are born. That's not what we focus on. The divinity within, the strength that lies in our blood, it is something only each person can find for themselves. But we are not alone in this world, and we have other people, and the strength that we find in ourselves is also the strength that others find in us. You seem to come from a troubled life, and that is not something unique to you. I also have history, things that I regret doing because of
And
my circumstances.
kind of looks up at that point and finally looks at Elsa.
She gives you a slightly sad smile and says, "In the past, I've used my powers to help fight the war. I used to be part of the Karnath military. That was, more than 20 years ago. I was responsible for maintaining the troops of the undead. I've dealt with many corpses in my time. Empty shells, helped collect the dead from villages stricken by plague and taken their bodies away from grieving families and turned them into weapons of war."
Well, everyone did something to survive the war.
Indeed. And then I left it. I came to Lazar. Quit.
You're a
Because my
doctor
own
now.
friends died.
You help people.
I do.
If I can say the
But-
same.
Wasn't I helping people before when I was serving Karnath? Creating soldiers to fight its war for it so that the living might be spared?
I guess
A lot of
that's-
people see undeath as evil. And in some ways it is. All death is cruel violence, even if it's not brought about by a blade or a wand. I'll tell you one thing. Only the living can choose what to do with their lives. And no matter what you have done, no matter what you have caused, what hurt you have felt, what hurt you have caused, you are still alive. And that means that you can still change. Death is the ultimate end. For as long as any of us draws breath, we must fight to preserve ourselves and the things we care. She, reaches out her hand and gently places it on top of yours. Do you let her?
Yes.
She holds your hand. Her hands are soft, but there are calluses and wear and wrinkles. You look at it and you can see sort of scars and the chapping of hands frequently washed and dealing with things like vinegar and rubbing alcohol to disinfect wounds. She squeezes your hand gently. You aren't dying.
If you say so. I guess you might know. No offense. Sorry,
And there's no, please. It's all right. There's no shame in feeling pain or being hurt. It can take a long time for the heart to recover. Certainly, this whole world has been hurting for a very long time.
it has.
It is not a bad thing to seek comfort. It is not a bad thing to feel guilt and want to change. I hope you enjoy your tea. She squeezes your hand one last time and then stands up and carries her tray, with Luca's teacup
Thank you.
upstairs. Of course. If you ever need somebody to listen, I'm very good at keeping secrets. She smiles and leaves you to it. Good night.
Good night.
Also returns up to your bedroom, Luca, with a cup of tea and says, "Sorry it took a while. I ran into Anne in the kitchen. We had a little bit of a conversation."
Oh, I'm glad and felt comfortable enough to talk to you.
Hmm.
I don't think they like me very much.
I think they're not used to being around people. And while you are a very nice boy, Luca, you do sometimes have a tendency to be a bit overwhelming.
Oh,
She hands you your cup of tea and smiles at you. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes it just takes a while for people who aren't used to it to warm up. And I don't think N is very used to having kindness shown to them without conditions.
that's very sad.
It is. But now you know them. They've met you and you've worked together quite a bit.
Maybe
Perhaps-
they'll feel a bit more comfortable with me soon.
Maybe. I think Anne is used to having allies more than they are used to having friends. And I don't think they've had allies for a long time.
One is a step to the other, I think.
You're right.
Yeah. Thank you for my tea.
You're welcome. She leans down and gives you a hug. I'm going to head to bed myself. I'm a little bit worn out.
Sorry for keeping you.
No, it's all right. Anytime.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
She waves goodbye and closes the door behind her. Anything anybody else would like to do?
No, I think En's gonna finish their tea and then just like drag themselves and flop into bed. Face
Okay.
first, just like Kiki's delivery service. Flop
Yeah.
into bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh.
Willow, if you came and hang out, you could get free therapy too.
I don't think Willow wants any of this shit.
What about you, Willow? Did you do anything after we dropped you off?
Oh, is that question extended to me as well? I wasn't sure if he just meant your.
No, it's all.
Carrie.
all of
Oh,
you.
Luca's gonna go to bed. He's had a bit of a headache since they left
Yeah.
the hag.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the tea helps soothe your headache and also is very good at putting you to sleep.
Yeah. Just what I like.
I will say, Willow does sort of go out to their boat again, like to the front of their boat, like they're going to try the conch shell once more.
Mm-hmm.
But they sit down and they just kind of sit and stare for a bit, and then they end up kind of just reclining out on the the not inside of the boat part of the boat.
Deck?
The deck? Yeah.
Yeah.
They just lie there for a bit, and basically holding the conch shell, and they fall asleep before they like figure out what they're going to do. Or,
I think
you know, the sort of semi-sleep.
Yeah, you sort of drift off.
Yeah, like they don't really know how much time has passed, but it feels like they fell asleep, but they're not really sure if they did.
I think Fish Dog nudges you awake again.
Yeah.
Makes sort of a beep 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 of like, it's cold out.
Yeah. Yeah, Willow's going to go inside and put the conch shell back on the shelf so it doesn't give them any more messy dreams. And probably just sleep on their couch. If they sleep, just plop.
Yeah.
There. Probably read. They'll probably read until they fall asleep reading.
Yeah. Do you want to do
It's
any...
not the kind of active reading.
Yeah, it's sort of going over things that you've read before. Would you like to make some guesses?
Some guesses?
As in, would you like to ask me, the DM, of what you suspect?
Like what
regarding
plane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Yes. Good point, actually. I feel like Willow wouldn't remember until they walk into their room and they see the bestiary book that they borrowed.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, they're... For full disclosure, they borrowed that so that they could see if there was anything in there about N.
Now's your chance.
Whether or not that is still applicable, Willow will begin skimming through some plain magic books, which are sort of underneath, but probably in a trunk, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That Willow opens up. It's like underneath 8 layers of stuff.
Yeah, you have to dig those out. Those haven't seen the light of day in quite some time.
Yeah, so...
You haven't needed them for a while.
Yeah. So Willow digs those out and just starts skimming through them, considering the hag's encouragement, saying that Willow was clever and could figure it out. Yeah, Willow's gonna have a skim, have a look.
Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
Can Fish Dog give... No, I guess not.
Yes, it can.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Arcana check. Ready, spaghetti?
Ooh.
Okay. So you've narrowed it down to 2 options. Which are a little bit troubling. It's either something from Kyber, the world within worlds.
Wow. Okay.
Which, you know, is sort of beyond being like the catch-all term for where monsters come from. Kyber is complicated. Kyber is not just one place, but many places folded in on themselves. It is a infinitely twisted labyrinth of demiplanes that is contained within Eberron. So, that's complicated.
Yeah.
There are some notable demiplanes that are more known of than others, and certainly, like, You know that the Church of the Silver Flame deals a lot with, and also the Gatekeeper Druids deal a lot with sealing and protecting the world from things that try to leak out of Kyber.
Hmm.
The other option, which is perhaps more disturbing than that, is that it's something from Zoriat, the realm of madness.
Well, that's unpleasant.
Yeah.
Willow sets himself
Makes-
alone in the boat.
That explains why Anne's so mad all the time. Maybe.
Ha.
Willow says again to themselves in the boat. Beep.
Yeah. The thing about this madness is that, well, people don't go to Zoriat. It's not a place you really go. If the plane of Lamania embodies the natural world, then Zoriat is everything unnatural. It's not the chaos of Kithri. It's not things that are possible but in chaotic order. It is distinctly strange. If the other planes embody ideas such as life or death or dreams or war or peace, then Zoriat is what lies below them or above them. It is the place from which concepts become. And that's about as much as you can guess. You don't have enough specific information to, like, get things. You know that a lot of aberrations and unnatural things come from either Kyber or from Zoriat to Kyber. So, yeah.
Interesting. A question. Is Bruno awake?
No, not at this hour usually.
Damn.
Can you make him awake, Willow? Vishto just starts blasting body yada yada outside of Bruno's place.
Willow probably knows not to wake Bruno.
Yeah.
You're more likely to get punched in the face than get information.
Why?
The good thing is that he will probably be awake very early in like a few hours because Bruno wakes up before
A bit early?
dawn. Yeah, because he fucking works.
Unlike
Okay.
you.
God, do I feel subtweeted right now? Jesus. Anyway, but
He
yeah,
runs.
So if
he runs the dry docks, so
if he, say, I don't know, spots a brightly colored shifter sitting at where he usually stands early in the morning, would that be plausible?
yes. So I assume everybody has slept at this point, and
Yes.
Willow has just asked Fish Dog to wake them up ass early.
Yes. I imagine that Willow probably napped and then woke up and started reading.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think that they'd sleep after they had their air quotes revelations. Okay. Yeah.
That's why we wear the sunglasses to hide your massive Gucci eye bags.
Wow, or at least they're Gucci.
That seems very fashionable, okay?
Yeah.
They could be, air quotes, pirated. Doesn't even make sense. Anyway, Bruno!
It's like, you're awake late.
As
I've
I
learned
do.
better than to assume that you wake up early. Yeah?
You're very smart. how is your... Oh, sorry, I have something for you, but it's at my house. Don't worry about it. I'll get it for you later. How are you today?
Bruno just like slurps a thermos of like very hot, very strong black tea. I'm fine.
All right.
And you?
As always.
You have a little more pep in your step these last couple days.
Do I? You would see you were very close to seeing them anyway before I get smacked. I'm going to... I have questions.
Yeah?
You know something about Karnath, yes?
In the sense that I know some Karnathi sailors come through
Right.
here in the past.
Right. Willow zones.
What's your question?
You know, I thought I knew that before I came here, but now that I'm here, I'm not entirely sure what I expected you to tell me. What boats go to Karnath?
Oh, merchant vessels.
Soon. Anytime soon.
Oh, I can have a look.
Yeah, might as well.
I'll bring you a schedule in a couple days. Or, well, I assume you're going out today. You said you were renting the boat again?
Yes. That I am, little Bruno.
Call me little and lose your arm.
Speaking of, you know my friend, the big
The
one?
big guy, yeah.
Yes, the big one. You said he was from Karnath. How could you tell? Just the size of him, yes?
The size, the fact that he was carrying a sword and armor, and he just kind of looks like one, doesn't he?
That's what I thought too, except I don't think I knew that, so... I was just wondering...
He's got
could
the...
glean anything else from him?
Bruno sort of waves hand as like jaw structure, the nose.
Powerful.
Yeah.
Yes. Quite
Looking
handsome.
is the word you're looking for.
Strapping! But yeah. Yeah. I don't think he knows exactly where he's headed. So I was just wondering, in all your years of wisdom and knowledge, whether, I don't know, you're a good read of people, whether you might be able to glean anything from him. You know what I mean?
Well, he seems like a nice, respectable lad. Maybe he came from money. He's got the manners for it.
So true. So, like, nobility sort.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a prince.
Now, wouldn't that be something?
Yeah. You're right, I suppose. Well, as right as clueless people can be.
Yeah. So was there anything else, or were we just idly speculate and gossip while you wait for your friends to show up? Because they don't wake up at the ass crack of dawn, like you and I.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I just wanted to pick your brain. You always have such interesting things to say.
Slurps his tea. Well, I've got
Just
shift
that timetable,
scheduled.
if you don't mind. Pardon?
Yeah. I'll let you
Yeah.
know.
Thank you.
Alright.
I pat Bruno on the arm, on the shoulder.
He sort of like affectionately waves you away, goes about setting to his daily routine, finishing his big thermos of tea.
Willow is going to go and get breakfast.
Hell yeah.
Breakfast.
Breakfast?
Yeah, either from Eka or just anywhere that's open.
Yeah.
Preferably a bakery.
Oh yeah, there's a bakery nearby that like opens, and you are the first in line to have the freshest bread.
Oh, yes.
Smell it a mile
Shall
away.
we, yeah. Shall we move on to the assembly of the trio?
Are you
Yes.
gonna bring bread for Elsa, or are you cruel?
God damn.
That's Sarah.
Yeah, I was thinking whether Willow would think to bring bread. Willow.
Or
Okay,
they just-
honestly,
They just
no.
eat the
Look,
whole loaf by themselves.
put it this way: Willow probably
Mm.
buys 4 bread, right? Because
Yeah.
they're not gonna they don't know what's gonna happen the next day, so they're gonna buy 4 bread, and then they might go past the apothecary. If they are perceived with their multiple loaves of bread, then they will give bread as if they bought it for them.
Oh, you sneaky bastard.
Oh, you brought bread? Yes. But that depends if you perceive me on my way back to my boat. With my loaves. With my many loaves.
I mean, Elsa usually makes porridge for breakfast for everyone
Right.
anyway, so
You guys didn't offer me dinner. Willow
you
didn't
didn't
eat.
come.
Yeah.
I went home. Yeah, because I didn't. No one invited me.
I think they just kind of assumed that that you would invite yourself.
Yeah, it was the miscommunication. Willow hungry.
Oh, honey.
It's okay. Willow went home and ate something. Madeline's
Yeah.
probably.
3-day-old Madeline's.
Yeah, so
Oh boy.
Yum.
tummy grumbling when they don't hear about frickin' potato dumplings. Goddamn. Oh.
Would Elsa notice them, like, hovering, trying to look inconspicuous?
I think
No. She's got
Willow's not
other
hovering.
things to
Willow's
do.
power walking home. So
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were, like, casually trying to make them, you know, seem like they're not there to hang out, but they are.
nope. Willow's just taking their bread home. Probably
Yeah.
doing more reading.
So,
Oh, I want
Willow
to come have breakfast with us. That's so sad.
Too bad. Should have invited Willow.
yeah,
Should have texted
next
them.
time. Next time. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Daddy wants a big breakfast.
I want a big breakfast.
Oh.
There is no bread in my house at the moment. I have to go grocery shopping.
Rip.
Aw.
Let's steal from Willow. Hey, buy Zeke some coffee so Zeke can get that bread.
Yeah.
Literally.
Give Zeke the bread for that bread. Hell yeah.
God. Yeah, it's situations are truly dire when the Europeans don't have bread in the house.
I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Pain.
Anyway.
Haha, get it? If you're French, get it? Ha, pain.
Eh.
Ha.
Anyway, so shall we move on to you all reconvening
Yes.
Yes.
the next day in the morning? You have all variously had your breakfast. You are meeting at the rowboat.
I'm
Yeah.
bringing a pot of porridge for Willow because I'm going to assume they haven't eaten.
Oh.
I think you probably bring Willow sandwich because porridge does not travel well.
I don't eat porridge, so I'm going to take your word for that.
Unless
Yeah,
you
it's
brought me a
like
cup.
trying to walk
like-
around with a bag of soup.
I feel like Luca would.
Splish,
She'd
splash.
bring a
Oh,
bowl
man.
with like a plate on top to like cover it.
Why? That's so odd. Would you? I feel like Elsa would advise you not to.
Elsa sees
Elsa
Luca
would
going out the
outside
door with this catastrophe and is like, hold on. Let me stop you right there.
Elsa probably was like, "Oh, you're going out again. Can I make you some Can I make you a packed lunch?"
Elsa says, taking the
Aw.
bowl away from Luca.
She's so nice.
I freaking love her. We'll talk about that later.
And is just so
Elsa.
stunned that you were
Very
trying to
nice
take that
day.
out the door.
Luca. What the fuck? Reconvening hours, and probably I'm at the
Yeah.
boats now, packing it full
Yeah.
of stuff.
Yeah.
We're gonna hunt some shit.
And does not look
Yeah.
rested.
Oh god.
Actually, En,
Oh, do I? Fuck.
Oh.
make a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
Okay.
What about me?
Oh.
Advantage?
You have no wisdom. I'm
You're
sorry.
fine, Luca.
Aw.
Oh.
Okay.
and you had a night of dreamless sleep. That
Hell
should really
yeah!
knock you out.
Wow.
That was the good
That-
tea.
So you're
that
like,
dice
you
roll is
might
like
be
your
feeling
life.
sluggish, but like in the way of like you slept hardcore and you're not fully awake yet,
Yeah.
but you didn't dream.
Hey, that's a
Whoa!
win.
And wakes up in the
So
morning.
like
I'm
while
awake.
you're like sort of, while Anne is like probably yawning a bit of like and looks like teenager that just woke up energy
Yeah.
of like
Wow.
they don't have dark circles under their eyes today.
Wow. Are
Good
we
morning.
in the same vicinity now? Can I comment
Yes.
immediately?
Yeah.
Wow, you look
Yeah.
rested.
Good morning to you too.
Hi. Luca?
I brought
I'm
lunch.
just saying hello.
Yeah, have some
Oh.
for breakfast.
I imagine you just shoved it into Willow's hands.
Yes.
Thank you. I brought. Willow realizes that the loaf of bread in the boat is not lunch. Bread.
These are from Seeker Elsa.
Oh, thank you.
She
didn't
wanted to
need
make sure we were well fed while we were hunting frogs.
Oh, then. Wait, you told her?
I did.
Okay.
And she seems
Good.
That would be news to you.
okay
well,
with
Anne.
it. No, it didn't.
Yeah.
No, Secret Elsa
Elsa
said
said
to end that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am forgetful.
It's okay.
Minus one intelligence.
Luca would know that. Luca doesn't know the conversation.
Yeah.
That's true. Oh, and
Oh,
I told Seeker Elsa.
Yes, I heard. She seemed surprisingly all right with it.
She's very strong.
Very nice lady. Anyway, shall we
We're
away?
both from Karnak. We're both very strong.
I'm sorry. I'm stopping. Willow's like one leg into the boat, one leg back out. You're both from Karnath. Oh, right, the blood of all thing.
Hmm.
Right.
That's why she's very
Luca?
big.
Here's a silly question for your morning. Are you a prince?
Why don't you tell me?
Hmm.
I don't think
Willow
he'd
hops into the
remember.
boat. Willow hops into the boat!
I mean, it was worth a try. Good job. Maybe it would have knocked something loose, and you can't quite tell if En's being serious or if En's just try humoring you
Willow hops into the boat.
as they climb into the boat after you.
Willow in the boat.
It's like, no, Willow, good effort, really.
Willow wants to die.
No, we can't. We need to get the stuff.
We might just get that chance.
Oh god. Willow is also setting up looking like they're going to steer, which is odd, so I feel like Willow is going to move.
Yeah. I'm gonna like
Yeah,
casually just like slide them across the boat.
All right. Okay. Well,
Please remember not to stand up too much this time.
I'll do it twice, just to make sure.
Okay, I will keep count. You have 2 times.
Sorry, twice as much.
It's a library card, but it's for the boat now.
Oh.
oh
And you-
boy.
Just twice for me. For Prince Luca.
Oh, he's never gonna live that down now, Luca. Good job.
Willow puts their face in their hands. Anyway, Bruno mentioned it first.
Oh.
That's
I
my
don't believe you.
scapegoat. Let's stop
But,
steering.
okay.
Oh, rowing.
Okay. Well, you set off, and it is another day on Driftwood Marsh.
Yay!
Salt Spray. This time you have a slightly different destination. So you spend your time rowing upriver. Good thing the current here is relatively lazy and slow. So it's not that big. But you do have to make a survival check to navigate to where you want to go.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Wait, we all do that?
Your choice.
I think I have a survival skill, and I can use it
Yes.
fish dog advantage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you guys mind?
Go
No.
right ahead.
That's why I'm rowing,
Nice.
so you can lead us. Oh, captain, my captain.
Ooh.
Stop. You'll make Willow
Nice.
blush.
That's the idea.
So,
Wow. Okay. Stop.
so, having Fish Dog produce the maps of the marsh area, you easily find your way upriver to where the forest meets the marsh. What are you looking for first?
Bird nest.
Bird nests. Oh right.
Uh,
Yes. Oh. Yeah. Gotcha.
Because I don't want to
Okay.
just pluck feathers out of a bird. That seems cruel.
Oh right. Yeah. Okay.
Do they count as fresh though if they're coming from the nest?
I reckon they're not like they're ever alive. It's not like you get fresh hair, right?
Let's find a
Right?
frog first, I guess.
We need to debate
No, wait,
this.
okay.
What energy?
Feathers will keep them longest, I feel.
In which case, wouldn't you want to get them first? Because as
Yeah.
soon as you have the frog tongue
Yeah, it's gonna.
Yeah,
It's,
you need to
out
run.
of the mouth,
yeah, that's gonna. Maybe we should save that for last.
Mm.
you have
We
this
need to
discussion
find-
as you're rowing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you know
Luca
what
doing hard turns.
Yeah.
We just row in a circle for a hot minute.
You learn what a Yui is?
Here's what we call a roundabout.
Do you guys know what a cockatrice is?
I thought it was kind of bird.
Yes.
Want to make an Arcana or Nature check?
Do you know
Oh,
what kind
I
of
haven't-
bird?
Wait, anyone got nature skills? I got
I
Arcana
do
skills.
not.
And
I don't believe so. No.
shall I advantage on some Arcana for this?
Yes. Dude, these are intelligence
cockatrice?
checks?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I'll help. I'll say I'm helping.
Okay, then
Okay.
with
So-
N's assistance.
And is also using
So
the
a cockatrice is indeed a large, kind of a bird. They are ground-dwelling, sort of, usually in forests or grasslands, and the most famous thing about them is that their peck causes petrification.
God,
Also, they're very aggressive.
petrification. Okay.
So we shouldn't be pecked by them, if at all
No.
possible.
No, we shouldn't.
The good news is that their petrification only lasts for 24 hours, as opposed to
Really?
some forms of it which can last indefinitely.
Right.
And there are antidotes for it, but you know.
All right, here's the plan. Distance. You and your crossbow, and me and something. And says, looking at their hands. Well,
Wait, okay. Are they a monster or are they an animal?
They would be considered monstrosities.
Okay, so
Are they
Luca's
cool
gonna have
looking?
Luca would have no objections to killing one, would he?
I guess not.
are they?
Okay.
Are they cool looking?
Luca is not vegetarian. Luca.
No,
I
but
don't
like,
think-
remember, you
Is
you don't want to be mean to animals around the hag. So like, is
Well,
this something?
Oh.
No, she's specifically sent you out. This is not like a being mean to a domesticated animal. This is
Okay.
this is a wild creature.
That will swoop
Okay.
us
Just
and
making
will
sure.
petrify us and will send us to the
Okay.
bottom of the ocean if we're not careful.
But hey, if
Just
we can
making
find
sure.
some random feathers, then maybe we won't need to face one at all. Ha 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 ha.
You're so funny, Willow.
I am. Thank you.
One shows up, we run,
Okay.
and I'll do something.
So, and we need a giant frog. So,
Yep.
I vote we find some feathers, and then we
Mhm.
find out where the flowers are, right? And then
Can I
we
check
go
that? No.
Can I finish my list?
Apologies, Sir Luca, Your Highness.
Then we find the frog. Thank you for giving me the due deference.
Oh boy.
Dying less.
And then we find the frog and take its tongue. That way, on the way back, we can pass the flowers and pick them, so they will also be fresh. Right?
Very
I'm
clever.
smart
Yes.
sometimes.
Yes. I look at N. No, that's a very good plan.
And shrugs.
You guys know what a man trap is.
I assume it traps man.
Nope.
Yeah. So you guys will have to catch that, because
I'm
I am
thinking
a
some
man.
giant flower like the big pitcher plants that. That's what I'm
Make a nature check.
Me?
Anybody who wants to try and recall what a man trap is.
You know what? I'm gonna do that for fun skis.
Can we
Oh, boy.
advantage that on the? Okay.
Nope, too late.
Oh god!
Oh, for funsies, you say.
Your head is
Okay, you have
empty.
no fucking clue.
Oh my god!
All I know is it sounds a little bit saucy.
Man trap. Yeah, the flower that traps man. That man trap?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god!
You feel like it's like man trap. Isn't that a quite a crude euphemism?
Ugh.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Willow sees the look on Luca's face and promptly starts. Sorry, let's just promptly roll this. Nature check.
Yeah.
Okay, this
Willow,
I'm
Willow
gonna-
would cut in with whatever they say here.
It is a flesh-eating plant that has luring pollen.
Okay, Luca, it's a plant.
Can Sarah
That's
just
cool.
say something in the meta?
Sure.
Oh god, should
Do you guys remember the grippers from Del Toro Quest?
No.
No.
Oh,
Sorry.
No,
Oh, I'm so
I have
sad.
never heard of them.
I never read the book, so you can't expect me to know shit.
I only remember yesterday. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyway,
Basically, like
feathers.
flowers that are like likes, but in the ground. So when you walk over the
Ew.
green leaves, you kind of fall into them, and they're
Oh,
just like
yeah.
a pit filled with teeth. Love them.
Ew.
And they produce
Yucky.
like a venom so that you don't feel the pain of them eating you. So that
Wow.
by
Well,
the
that's
time
nice
you
of them.
notice that they're eating you, you're already so far in the field of grippers that you can't get out. And they
Gross.
just eat you.
Ooh.
Is this
Spooky.
man trap anything like that? It's just a luring plant that eats you.
Anything? Yes.
Okay.
Sexy.
Well,
Okay.
I
Everyone
can't
read
look
Del
off
Toro Quest.
mid-euphemism. Yes. Okay.
All right.
And
So
we would
your
find
plan
them
is-
somewhere. Yes. Okay. Good.
So your plan is to sort of try and scope out where you might find man traps, go find cockatrices and feathers, and then frogs, and get the man traps on your way back.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Somebody please write that down.
I have
Just to
absolutely
take
written
note
that
of it.
down.
Great.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Thank you, Plan Man.
Good. Cool. So, survival check. I would like everybody to make a perception check to see if they can spot a man trap from a distance. As you are
Not to
rowing
keep-
along.
Milking this fish dog, but can I keep having advantage in those?
Yeah, if you're using fish dog, you will continue to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My big juicy brain.
Yay!
Juicy eyes.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow. Goodness. Zeke, come back.
I
to us.
regretted saying that as soon as I thought it.
Oh, Zeke.
It's okay.
Audible
You're allowed
regret.
to. You know what? That's okay. Yeah, big juicy. Anyway.
I thought N was the one with the juicy eyes.
Eyes?
Or just
Plural.
one.
Oh! I heard something else. Never mind. Let's carry on.
I said eyes.
Oh!
What did you
My
hear?
mind was somewhere else. Don't worry about it. Let's play. What are
No,
you perceiving
send
with
me-
your big juicy eyes? I'll
Tell me in
DM you
DM.
later. Where's the yep.
Okay, so you spot, as you are rowing towards the forest, you sort of moor your boat against a suitable place, bring the rowboat ashore, after spotting at some distance an area with some smaller pools and ponds that are not connected to the main waterways. You imagine you'll probably need to walk into the forest a bit to find where the cockatrices are nesting. But you do spot what looks to be like a a patch where some man traps are likely to grow at a distance. So you mark the area, you bring your rowboat ashore, and are able to venture into the woods.